Hello and welcome everybody. I'm joined by the victorious jungler of FlyQuest, Mr. Inspired himself, the man that got robbed of Spring Split MVP in my opinion. He 3-0s 100 Thieves, and the first question I wanted to ask Inspired is that I feel that you are by far the best jungler in the league, but does River give you the most trouble when jungling against him, or is it Umti? Now that you've played against both, you've beaten obviously River now. I feel like River as a jungler is a lot harder to play against given his role in the team and your role.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think River gives me more trouble to face, and I also agree that I'm the best. But and on the topic of like Umti River, I feel like if River was playing on Team Liquid would be a stronger team. So yeah, I guess so. I mean, I feel like I just have so much easier job than River has to do. I still think I'm better than him, but I think he's doing a really good job with the resources he has around him because I think his top lane is a rookie that doesn't really know much about the game. Like, it doesn't really impact the game that much, and his bot lane is like very shaky. Sometimes they have good games, but sometimes they make so many mistakes. I think the only lane that he has pretty stable is his mid laner, so they kind of have to like play together to carry the games. While on Team Liquid, playing with Impact in the top side and Core JJ in the bot side, I feel like you can put any jungler and anyone will look at least decent.
Fair enough, fair enough. And by your definition, Inspired, I feel like you've been having to play a lot of these more vegan style junglers, Ivern, Amumu. Now, I talked to Nuke Duck a couple weeks ago, and I asked him, like, what is the idea and mentality behind playing these junglers? I feel like the Inspired I know is going to play Viego, he's going to play these hard carry, fast tempo kind of junglers. But he told me that you're the leader and you kind of asked for these champions. So are you just trying to do the best, strategy to get your team to win, or have you been asking for more carry orientated picks?
I mean, people usually say that I'm more of a carry player, but I never really agreed in that. I said that I always play just what's the best. Like, I always played meta champions, what I think is gonna give us the highest chance of winning. And when the champions like Lee Sin and Viego were like really strong, then I was playing them because they were just the strongest. And then at the beginning of the split, like Kindred was really strong, and all the AP mages, I mean, all AP junglers were really strong because the AD mid laners were always automatically winning the lane. So I was just playing all the time AP junglers. But now I feel like the laners' priors are like you can't really win lane that hard with AD champion, and as an AP jungler, you can't really help your team too much. So you have to rely on them being self-efficient, and you just farm up. But I feel like this playstyle is not as strong anymore. I think it's still playable, but it's not as strong. So I'm just looking for the champion that will give more value to the team, like as the game goes on.
Were you surprised that they let Ivern open in Game 3, given your success on the champion and kind of just how dominant your team looks on it?
I mean, I was a little bit surprised they banned it in game 2. I remember in the second phase. I think game 1 we picked a Mumu maybe first phase, so they didn't get to ban Ivan. But I don't know. I feel like they just wanted to go all in comp to go in, and they thought that Ivan is just gonna get engaged on. Because I think if I would be bad on Ivan, I can see a world in which Zac can always just jump on me and kill me. Like, I made this mistake one time, I think on the first Drake, where I thought that the Zac doesn't really have possibility yet to jump on me and just one shot me, but already at level 5 he can do that. So that was the first and last time I got caught. And I think if I just place really far back, they can never engage on me and they can never win fights. So they're just hoping, I guess, that I will run it down on Ivan.
Now, I don't think it's insane to say that every mid laner that you've played with has looked better when they've had you as their jungler. You've played with Larson, you've played with Jensen, you've played with Jojo Pyun, and now you've played with Quad. Can you tell me the differences, or maybe the big difference that Quad has over some of the other mid laners that you've jungled for?
I feel like Quad is the most patient. Like, I can tell when playing with Korean players overall, I feel like they're very patient and they know that if they're in the good spot in the game, the opportunities will come to them, and they don't have to go on the first angle they see in the game. They're just gonna like more analyze everything and think if the fight for them is good or not. But I think other players that I played with, and like most of the players, for example, Masu, I feel like when he has a lead, he wants to fight whenever he can. Like, whenever he gets an opportunity, he will try to fight. And it was same with Jojo, and I feel like with Jensen as well. So whenever they got ahead, they just looked to fight. While Quad is like, should I fight here or should I wait for a better opportunity? And that way he's always snowballing his lead and not re-throwing the game. Like, you could see it in game 3 today. Like, Bwipo had such a massive lead. I think botlane had a really great position after TP in the early game. Like, they were laning against Kalista, had only boots and dagger on the first reset. So from that point onwards, Ziggs can just overall clear the waves. But our botlane got impatient and tried to push the lead. And same for our top. I think at some point he got a bit impatient and started doing mistakes, while Quad was always just stable and just slowly pushing his lead. And I think that's just the biggest difference between him and other players I played with.
I think the most surprising thing for me, and probably the most criminal thing, is that you had to take a competitive break for a little bit after the whole EG situation.
Yeah.
You coming back this year, having such a dominant split, a dominant year, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've proven yourself and you've achieved some of the goals that you set out for yourself? Because I know a lot of players think about a lot of different things after they take like a small competitive break. What were your goals, and did you achieve them? And did you prove to yourself that you're obviously still a very good jungler?
I mean, I knew that I'm at least good, but I mean, I felt confident going into the split. Me not being on a roster in that 2023 summer was a bit unfortunate. I was still fine with how it went. I was on the each bench. I was still under contract, so I was still getting paid. And I said I'm happy to play if you guys need me, but they decided that they'd rather play with other players. So I was like, sure, I guess I have paid vacation now. And I was just chilling. And then when the next year started, I was a bit surprised that every team didn't want to sign me, because I was talking to every team pretty much, and I was willing to join the best roster they had. But FlyQuest was pretty much the only one that was like really interested in me. So I was like a bit shocked that people undervalue me because I took a split break. So I guess now I showed them that they shouldn't have done that. They had me for free to sign, so they should have done that when they could.
Yeah. So now you're going off against Team Liquid in your upper bracket or grand finals. Very, very close upper bracket match.
Yeah.
Couple different decisions. The series probably goes your way. What is the hardest thing to do in that situation when you're going to face them again? You had such a close series. Both teams are obviously adapting. Team Liquid is obviously most likely preparing for you. How does that prep work go in? Because you realistically only have a day before you can really, face them. Did you guys prep for Team Liquid a little bit this week? Would you guys assume you guys are going to beat 100 Thieves?
I mean, we're preparing for 100 Thieves, like we didn't really disrespect them. And about Team Liquid, already prepared them for them like last week, so we kind of know how we want to play against them and what they are playing and how they like to play. We also were facing them a lot in scrims during the whole season, and like last season we played them in the finals, so we know how they like to play. And I'm ready. I think playing against them is pretty hard because you can't afford to make mistakes. Like if you go for some play and you fail, then you get behind in tempo for the rest of the game because they will just keep making slow plays and get advantages. But I feel like recently they've been getting a bit too hasty sometimes when they have a lead, so you can kind of drag them into bad fights and win the game like that.
Final question here. Inspired, you've had a fantastic season. You've had a fantastic split. Any final message to the fans or maybe to the haters that you have? Because I know you always got a lot of them.
Yeah, man, the people were hating on me when we decided to make a roster change in the mid lane. I think I proved people that it was a good decision, and hopefully the decision will make us be able to win the finals. So I will do anything I can tomorrow to win it. And I'm happy you guys are still supporting me. And if you hate me, I'm also happy you guys are at least talking about me. I don't really like get affected by hate because I know my value, because I'm pretty confident in my own abilities. So thank you, I guess.
Thank you so much, Inspired.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching the video. I'm hoping you guys enjoyed the content. If you did, leave a like, comment, do all that jazz. I genuinely try to respond to every single comment I see because it's always interesting to see the other opinions of people that care about League of Legends esports as much as I do. Obviously, the best way to support me is to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications on my latest uploads. If you want to see more of me and my content, I stream on Twitch 5 days a week. The link will be in the description box below. If you are into short form content, I'm also on TikTok. We talk about LPL, LCK, LEC, all the stuff over there. We talk about roster moves. So if your jam is short form content, head over to TikTok, hit the follow button there. I'm also on Twitter. So all of that stuff will be in the description box below. But other than that, thanks for watching the video, and I hope to see you soon.